everybody, and welcome to Wasilla, Alaska. Thank you for joining me today as I talk to you about something that's near and dear to my heart. And I have good feelings about it, and I also have bad feelings about it because I'm on both sides of the spectrum. I've seen it, and yet I've also been a part of it. I understand it, and yet I can see where people come from. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about me. I am 22 years old. I'm the oldest of 5 children. My dad is in the military and my mom is a stay-at-home mom. I am getting married June 17th, which means I'm getting married tomorrow. Also, I have a dog, and my dog is a service dog, even though he looks like a lazy couch potato right now. So, I'm going to show you these images, and I want you to think about them. What do they show? What do they portray? How do they make you feel? So here's another set of them. Again, how do you feel? What do they portray? What do they make you think of? So, story time! So, I served my mission in Charlotte, North Carolina in 2015 to 2016. When I came home from my mission, I became very clearly aware that I had started suffering something on my mission that I didn't know that I actually had even suffered as a teen. But when they looked back in my life and my stories and stuff like that, they actually realized there were signs of them back then. But I suffer from social anxiety, depression, and then I have had a few panic attacks in my life. When I came home from my mission, my depression got really bad. I didn't exactly know always what to do, and so my parents decided to get me a service dog. He was trained specifically for what I needed, but the story that I'm going to tell you happened during his training process. As we were training him, I went to Walmart one day with a friend of mine, and we were getting some stuff because that's just what friends do. We go when we get stuff at Walmart. As I took Hudson in, this was still in the training process. He didn't have his training vest on because it was too small. But we really were walking through the store and he had an accident. He went to the bathroom on the floor and like I said before, he was training. So we didn't always know when everything was going on, and he didn't know that he wasn't supposed to go to the bathroom in the store. And so as we were working on trying to get a hold of a Walmart representative, I was standing with my dog next to the mess, and my friend was trying to find a Walmart associate. And as I was standing there, this woman came up with her child and started really criticizing me. Well, why do you even have a dog in the store? And why do you why do you even have him? Why are you going to make them clean up their mess? And she just kept belittling me and berating me and saying, why was I doing all these things? And I tried to explain that he was in training and that we had a lot of work to do, but I was not going to make the Walmart associates clean this mess up. But she didn't believe me. So she actually followed behind my friend, and as the lady found the Walmart associate first, and my friend went to go up and say, we just want the supplies to clean up the mess. We want to take care of it. The man was very understanding, but I feel really bad because you've got a very understanding, very caring person who, if you're willing to take responsibility, he's going to understand that. But then you have another person who only sees the fact that I don't look like I need a service dog, but she's going to belittle me, and her child now has seen that. So he sees that, I don't look like I need a service dog. And so it's okay that if something messes up that he can lash out. And so you've got two spectrums here of people. So service dogs and service animals have a very wide range of myths and truths and what people think, and it's always a constant change. But I feel really bad for the people who have to go through that, because I know what it feels like, and you feel so hurt and so out of touch with people. So I want to go over some myths versus truth. And the first myth is that, you know, only people with severe medical conditions need service dogs. I can tell you that's a lie. Being who I am and knowing that I suffer from anxiety, that I suffer from depression, that I suffer from possible panic attacks, having that dog helps me to focus my energies. And when he knows that I'm getting ready to have a panic attack or go into a depression stage, he's trained to either lay at my feet or lay himself on my hips, so that my constant attention is now turned and I'm thinking about something other than myself. But I'm not the only one. Service dogs are a wide range. There's people for seeing eyes, which is a severe condition. There are people for handicap, or dogs for handicap, and that is also a severe condition. But what about those men and women in the military with PTSD? They themselves need service dogs to help with attacks, but that's not an outward problem that people can see. So even though there's a lot of people that have, you know, problems that are all on the outside, and then there are people that have problems that are only on the inside, don't judge a person because they have a dog, because they might be dealing with something inwardly that nobody really knows about. The second is that, you know, there aren't a lot of service dogs in the U.S. And actually there are over 20,000 service dogs in the U.S. 10,000 of them are specifically trained as seeing eye dogs. And then the numbers drop through each category, but 20,000 of households in America have a service dog. That means 20,000 individuals have service dogs. Number 3, service dogs aren't allowed everywhere. That is not true. According to the ADA, which is a bill that the government passed to help people with disabilities, there's a specific act that specifically focuses on service dogs specifically, and that act allows for a service animal or dog, sorry, they specified it for dog recently, but the original statement was that a service animal is allowed in any facility, federal, government, anything. It is allowed everywhere. So why should you care? Meet somebody. I want you to meet Kai. Kai is a 5-year-old little boy who has autism. Kai, in October 2016, met his best friend Tornado. Tornado was a service dog specifically meant for Kai. He was trained as a puppy, he was picked out, he was socialized, and he was done by a specific group called Paws for Kids. Now, Paws for Kids allows for service dogs to be given to children at young ages who originally, there are a lot of people with a stipulation that, and with rules that children under the age of 12 cannot have service dogs. But Kai is 5 years old and has extreme autism. And yet, you've got 12-year-olds who have Down syndrome and who have gone through all of that, and they had to go through this huge process to get it, where Paws for Kids helps the process move along further and cheaper. I hope that when you think about people and you think about service animals and you think about people with problems, that you'll realize that there are a lot of people out there who need service dogs, and it's become a lot harder and harder for people who have service dogs to really feel welcome in a community. I hope that you realize that maybe someday in your life, one of your loved ones is gonna need a service dog, and that maybe a little bit more compassion and caring and kindness, even a smile. When I walk into a store and I just see somebody smiling at me, it makes my day a whole lot better than somebody who sits there and glares at me or looks at me like I'm going to let my dog run the store wild. So thank you again, and have a wonderful night.